Hi, everyone.
Hello, Mayor.
How are you, Jonathan?
Nice to see you.
Good to
Congratulations on today.
This is really exciting.
It's
Hey,
a big
guys.
deal. Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
You know, not more timely than ever.
It's true. And you're going to see some very quantifiable results. You know, this is not just people sitting down and feeling better. It's, you know, it's really quantifiable improvements in their finances that you'll be able to count up and celebrate.
And how do we make sure we're getting the word out and reaching into those communities that where the need is the greatest?
Amy?
Sure. Well, we have our lead partners here, International Rescue Committee, and then we have 10 other community partners that I'll also be listing during my comments.
Good. Great work, Amy.
So
Yeah,
Andrew,
thanks,
have we opened this up already? Do we have reporters on, Andrew?
No, nobody's on yet because I was waiting for everyone. So I
Great.
can start it right now. I was just connecting the YouTube. So that's all connected.
Okay.
And let's let in the reporters here.
So so if everybody, this is my little spiel that I've started to give since there are 6 of you and you probably outnumber the reporters. So maybe try to keep it to 2 minutes each so we don't overwhelm. Okay. All right.
No problem.
I'm going to disappear.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We're just waiting for everyone's attendee thing to finish connecting, and then we will kick it off here in just maybe 1 minute or so.
And who's on here, Andrew, just for everyone's edification? Who's coming on?
I'm kind of going down the list because I don't recognize everyone's names here. But if you click on participants and then click on attendees, you should be able to see. I recognize a couple names, but not everyone who registered just yet. So.
Okay. Oh, we've got a lot of attendees. Yeah. Okay.
Hang on a second. I think going to the webinar here. Yeah, we have a couple more people who registered that aren't in yet. So give it just another minute or so.
Just so you guys know, there are 20 people who are attendees who are not panelists. And how many of those, Andrew, appear to be media?
It's hard to tell because it's just their names. If the folks from the media would also rename themselves with their either station or publication, that would be fantastic because that will help with the Q&A portion of today's press conference.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay. And Marilyn, I'm not seeing any new ones jumping in. So if you
let's
want
just
to
get
started.
going. Let's get going. So Mayor, if you want to kick it off, that'd be great.
Sure. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. I'm Daryl Steinberg. I'm the mayor of Sacramento, and I would like to welcome you to this launch of the city's Financial Empowerment Center. The city of Sacramento is not shy about diving into the breach here. Pre-COVID and certainly during this extraordinary time. And here today is another example of the city saying that we intend to be inclusive, not just in name only, but by our actions. We have a strong inclusive economic development agenda in Sacramento, and financial knowledge is an essential part of being included and having an opportunity to be successful, even in the best of times. It can be challenging to connect with the information and the resources needed to make wise financial decisions. And of course, now in these times, it is even more difficult, and for many people trying to navigate the various federal, state, and local assistance programs, very frustrating. So today, we are pleased to announce the public launch of an initiative that can provide some much needed support to individuals and small businesses. As a growing part of a growing national network of public agencies, our city now has an active Financial Empowerment Center known as an FEC that provides free one-on-one professional counseling and coaching on financial matters in both English and in Spanish. We have been building this initiative for a while now, and the aim is for our excellent, highly trained and experienced counselors and coaches to help people do the things that are necessary to build long-term financial health, such as connect with safe and affordable checking and savings accounts, establish or improve their credit, reduce their debt, increase their savings. Our FEC team will still be doing that, but I want to add that given the current circumstances, they will also be able to connect people, as I referenced earlier, with the various local, state, and federal resources that are available to help with the personal financial element of the current public health crisis. They'll also be telling people, once you are back on your feet a bit from this crisis, we'll be here to help you, not just over these next several weeks, but over the long term towards meeting the future financial goals for yourself and for your families. We are looking at ways to connect this support with our city's COVID response efforts around housing stability, around workforce disruptions and small businesses, particularly for sole proprietors who are trying to balance their personal and business finances at this time. Last night, our city council put forward an additional $150,000 in CARES Act stimulus funds for the FEC for COVID-19. This adds to our previous $350,000 investment in the first 2 years of the initiative. I want to thank our staff, Amy Williams, our partners, and our funders who have helped us to get this started. And so first, to tell you a little bit about the national network and why Sacramento is a big part of this growing national network, I want to welcome Jonathan Mintz, who is the president and the CEO of the Cities for Financial Empowerment Fund. Jonathan, thank you for partnering with us, and I welcome you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Steinberg. You know, your leadership and vision for Sacramento residents is why we're here, and why you've made this critical addition to Sacramento Public Services. I'm Jonathan Mintz. At the CFE Fund, we are working with about 80 mayors regarding financial empowerment programming around the country. We provide funding and technical assistance, learning community, all the good stuff to make sure that we are all learning from each other and serving residents in need. This is a big moment for the city of Sacramento and for Sacramento residents, and it comes really just at the right time. For the first time in any city in all of California, one-on-one professional financial counseling is a free public service. And that is a really big deal. It is not only an incredible public service, but it's a real statement of policy about what Sacramento residents can expect from government in terms of helping them and their families think about their financial futures. The idea behind Mayor Steinberg's announcement is it's simple, but it's huge. And it really is a distinction between saying that when people are in trouble, you should give them a little bit of education and a good website, and instead saying that when people are in trouble with something as complicated as their finances, they need to be able to sit down one-on-one with a professional who can help them for free. That's what's now happening as of today in Sacramento. That kind of service, that kind of public policy is a major, major step. Sacramento Financial Empowerment Center counselors are nationally trained and certified. As you'll hear from Amy, I'm sure they go through really rigorous training in order to make sure that they know what they're talking about and that they can be helpful in a very specific way when people bring in their issues and their goals. And that's a really big deal. And the mayor, as the mayor said, these counselors are going to be able to help people think through safe banking, budgeting, literal debt reduction, building of savings. In the other cities around the country who have financial empowerment centers, we've already seen across that network about 110,000 clients, most of whom come back at least 2 or 3 times. Those clients have reduced their debt by over $150 million and built their savings by over 23 million. This is very tangible, measurable, important help. And so I'm really thrilled to be able to welcome the City of Sacramento to the Financial Empowerment Center network. And I think I'm going to turn it over now to the real hero of the story, Amy Williamson, who is the Financial Empowerment Center manager.
Thank you, Amy, again, for all of your great work. And I know Zach Yates from my team as well.
Yes.
Really helped launch this thing. I just want to make one other point, but turn it over to Amy, I'm sorry, which is that I just love what you said. Technology is really important for obvious reasons. Look at us, we're all on a Zoom call. But there is no substitute for a trained, caring person to talk to one-on-one to get help with how to survive and how to make it through these tough times. Really profound. Amy?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Jonathan, as well, for being here with us for this launch. So what I want to talk about is our community partnerships with this FEC initiative, because while it is a city initiative, we know that to reach those most in need of this support, really at any time, and of course, especially now, we must work closely with those organizations and their leaders and team members who already have trusted connections with our community residents, those who are already working with them on both their needs and their dreams. So we've been in a soft launch phase, actually, with 11 such partners for a few weeks now. Our lead partner is the Sacramento Office of International Rescue Committee. We contract with IRC to employ the coaches, and we'll hear more from them in a moment. So together, we and IRC are working with the following partners, many of whom are here with us virtually today. We have Alchemist CDC, Building Skills Partnership, Hacker Lab, La Familia Counseling Center, Mutual Assistance Network, Next Move, SEIU 1000, United Way California Capital Region, a collaboration between Wind Youth Services and Juma Ventures, and the Youth and Family Collective at the Fruit Ridge Community Collaborative. So I also want to thank City Community Development, that's CITI as in Citibank. They contributed $150,000 to this initiative, which then that leveraged a match for this project from CFE Fund. And as the mayor mentioned, now we have contributed as the City of Sacramento $500,000 to this initiative for the first couple of years. So we've been in this soft launch with our partners, but with this announcement today, we're also opening up the FEC to other members of the public. So to request an appointment, you can email fec@cityofsacramento.org, or you can call 916-808-4927. We mentioned earlier, we have coaches who speak English and Spanish, and IRC actually has some translators for other languages as well. So all appointments, of course, at this time will be via phone or video conference, though of course, we hope to get back to our original plan of in-person meetings as soon as it is safe to do so. So for more information about this initiative, including a downloadable flyer in English, and I think the Spanish version is going to be up there any moment, that you can use and share, you can also visit the FEC website, which is at www.cityofsacramento.org/financial empowerment. So with that, I want to introduce our FEC manager with the Sacramento Office of International Rescue Committee. That's Kurt Lewis, and he's here with us as well.
Great, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Mayor, Jonathan, all those on the call. What an amazing moment this is, the culmination of years of investment in such an important priority. International Rescue Committee is an organization with about an 87-year history of helping families regain control and rebuild their lives across the globe. Presently at work in 26 countries across the US, serving around 50,000 clients annually. Approximately around 4,000 of these receive financial capability services. So The IRC in Sacramento is just, which has been serving the community since 1992, is could not be more excited to partner with the City of Sacramento and our amazing partners, one of which we'll hear from shortly in this effort. One of the unique assets that IRC is seeking to bring to this collaborative effort is the Center for Economic Opportunity, which is a subsidiary community development financial institution that the Financial Empowerment Center client may access. CEO provides consumer financing to individuals who often cannot access other capital sources, no interest credit building loans, low interest rate auto loans. All these things can provide easier access to personal financial goals that families are striving towards. Additionally, CEO is offering a new product called the Resilience Loan that provides individuals a $700 no interest, no fee loan with no payments for 6 months to help bridge the gap for those who are particularly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is, as the mayor said earlier, part of a broader strategy to provide support to people in this difficult time. There's 3 very special people that I'd want to introduce briefly who are on the call today, and our clients and our partners are getting to know them, and those are our financial coaches. We have Margot Fisher. She's worked with IRC in Sacramento for 2 years and has had 10 years of experience working in the nonprofit and social services sector. Prior to her role at IRC, she worked as an economic empowerment VISTA coordinator at New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence, and several other staff and volunteer experiences that she's had just result in an extraordinarily gifted and knowledgeable financial coach. Gavina Avila has been a freelance instructor and teaching finance classes to artists and entrepreneurs here in the Sacramento area for a number of years. She's worked in the financial industry since 2007 and assisted her family in starting and maintaining their restaurant business. So she has that hands-on practical knowledge with finances, and she's got a great passion and is another fantastic addition to our team. And then we have Elliot Janestebez. Elliot has worked with many vulnerable populations throughout the year in various social work positions. His commitment to diversity and inclusion, combined with an extensive background in coaching and training, has molded Elliot into becoming another excellent member of our leadership team. I could not be more excited about the quality of these coaches and the services they're going to provide to the community. Even during our soft launch period, we've seen this collective effort have a meaningful impact. I just want to mention 2 really quick stories. One, a 25-year-old student who struggled with homelessness, who found stability in working with one of our partners, Wind Youth Services, has already met one of our coaches 3 times and now has a solid grasp on his budget and an action plan to save for a future apartment. Or a new immigrant from the Ukraine who has limited forms of ID, no English proficiency, and had no internet access at the time. An FEC coach was able to help them access free internet, open a bank account with a local credit union, and the FEC coach helped them and another family member who unfortunately lost their job as a result of the pandemic to access public and private resources that enabled them to get caught up on some critical bills. So we expect these kinds of stories to multiply exponentially. We can't be more excited about that. As others have already mentioned, a key to this work, the Financial Empowerment Center is working with our partner organizations. Each has their own esteemed legacy. I've been incredibly just honored to get to know them, the partners that Amy read earlier, in serving the residents of the City of Sacramento and the greater Sacramento area. And I'm honored to introduce one of those leaders these fantastic organizations right now, and that'd be Danielle Lawrence, Executive Director of Mutual Assistance Network, who's going to share some thoughts as well. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Mayor, Jonathan, Amy. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about our work and our partnership with the FEC. Mutual Assistance Network has been located in Del Paso Heights in northern Sacramento, Art and Arcade, for the past 25 years. Some of the things that we focus on, our mission is to socially and economically enhance the infrastructure of those neighborhoods. So economic development is a huge part of our work, and we work and thrive to move families from crisis stability to thriving. And so, yes, we do work with families at all levels in the neighborhood. We have multiple programs and support services for our families. Some of those named are Birth and Beyond. We have 2 family resource centers. So that's where we may work with families centered in crisis and housing issues and food insecurities and so on and so forth. And we've had a hand in those neighborhoods I mentioned for quite a long time, just working with families directly in crisis. We also have a few targeted programs of Black Child Legacy and Black Infant Health, and really looking at ways in which we just uplift families that are most affected or disproportionately affected by poverty. Some of the also things that we focus on just in this COVID season is food. We distribute food. We support families in through our partnership with United Way financially, as well as just really adapting our supportive services to meet them where they're at. Whether it needs to be in person and with protections, or whether we have shifted virtually, we are here to support families one-on-one, and we recognize that importance of one-on-one connection with our families. Additionally, we look to support the Financial Empowerment Center, and it fits with our work because we believe in the moving of families from crisis to stability to thriving. And that can only happen with financial security and financial education, so that we're not in this cycle that perpetually keeps us down as far as being able to provide for just our basic of needs. Not only do we want you to provide for your basic needs, we want you to thrive and become homeowners and entrepreneurs and business owners. Whatever your goals are, we want you to work towards those goals. And we work with families at all levels of goal making as it pertains to their financial desires for them and their families. Some of the things that we will be doing in our partnership, and we've already started to do, is infusing our financial counseling and coaching into the work that we do with individual families. So all of the families we touch, we're offering the opportunity to connect with the financial education coach. Additionally, we'll also be looking at providing a warm handoff. So not only do we want to make a referral, but we have the relationship with our families that we serve. And so we want to be able to say, hey, we know this financial coach, and please connect with them. And doing that warm handoff is so key in the trust building of being vulnerable about things that families are not used to talking about. Families are not used to having someone come in and educate them or advise them on their own personal finances, but they do have a trusted relationship with us. And I think lastly, I just want to say that I'm super excited for this partnership. I appreciate the investment that you've made, Mayor, and that Citibank has made. I think that it's super important, and it shows your intention behind supporting and lifting up families that are most in need. The Financial Empowerment Center is an equitable approach that is imperative to neighborhoods that historically have lacked economic opportunities for residents to succeed. And so with that, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for selecting us as a partner, Amy and Kurt, and let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So we're going to open it up now if members of the press have any questions.
I have one. How many people are we going to be able to serve?
It'll be 900 in our first year.
Okay.
Is our goal. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Although that was, I should say that was before, I'm sorry, the approval last night. So now it'll be an additional maybe 400, 500 or so on top of that with the new staff that we'll be able to hire from the funding last night.
I would also just add, based on the experience, Mayor, of other cities, that once you get past the startup phase, generally speaking, an FEC counselor sees about 800 clients per year. So this year will be great. Next year will be greater than great.
Super.
That's a Latin term.
Familiar.
All right, Andrew, is there anybody queued up with a question at all?
Nothing in the queue, but mics are open. They just have to unmute themselves if they want to ask anything.
Oh. All right, I guess you guys explained everything.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add? I guess you're welcome to do that.
I just, we're just grateful as a city to be partnering with people with great expertise and a great passion for serving people. It's exactly the kind of partnership that we are known for on the one hand, and continue to seek beyond what we already do and what we already know. And this is just going to be a tremendous resource for, as you said, hundreds of people and hundreds of families and thousands over time. And I hope we can grow this even broader as we show its success. So thank you.
Great. Thank you for including me, Mayor.
All
Great.
right.
All right, thanks, everybody.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.